How are you? It's a question that's so easy to say but is so rare for someone to ask. We never get to fully understand what we're currently feeling unless we get to hear that question. Again, how are you? How was school? How is your relationship with your friends? How are you holding up? Is life treating you well? Or are you satisfied about what you're currently doing now? As of now, you might probably be feeling a bit tired. You've been consecutively bombarded with school activities and your responsibilities at home keeps piling up that at one point, you just wanted to disappear. Like, you just want to drop everything all at once and just give yourself the time to breathe. But you feel guilty to even think about it. Why do we feel so guilty when our body craves for that rest? Why do we feel ashamed when we're not satisfied about our progress? Why do we feel embarrassed when we admit that we're lost? Why do we feel like it's a mistake to feel empty? We blame ourselves for something we have no control over, and then we deprive ourselves something that we both want and need. I've been listening to Emma Chamberlain's podcast recently. I got hooked when I listened to it while I was studying for an exam. There is this one episode where she says that there are days that you just couldn't find some sort of energy to do things, although you have a long list of things to do. That when those certain days come along, she feels so guilty for wasting an entire day doing nothing because she doesn't have the energy to do it. Like, you have the time, but you just wanted to lay down in your bed and do nothing. I'm really a type of person who would do things that I need to do before I let myself savor the amount of rest I need. But there's this one day that all of the deadlines were piling up within a week. Performances needed to be performed and a lot of performance tasks needed to be done that same week, and then exams the week after that. Then I think I was carrying a heavy baggage at the time, like all of it are just too much for me to carry. It was too much for me to handle all at once that I so badly want to rest. Like, I want to drop it all and just, whatever, fuck the world, I'm gonna rest. But then when I tried to squeeze a bit of rest that I need, myself kept on telling me, why am I resting when other people are experiencing something worse than this? I deprived myself the freedom to break down and to let the tiredness sink in into my body and my heart. I forced myself to be okay, that it ended up with me being foreign to the idea of letting myself be vulnerable. Holding it in and keeping myself tired was very unhealthy, especially because I planted a seed in my mind that what I am experiencing don't come close to the bad things going on with someone during that moment. Then realizations dawned into me and I was like, hey, what I feel don't have to be much worse than others. What I feel shouldn't base from what people are experiencing. Something like, I shouldn't compare it because all of us have different stories. I have a very different vulnerability and others have too. Just because others are suffering in depression and I'm suffering with a disappointment within myself, it doesn't mean that I should not acknowledge it just because others have it worse. Just because the majority thinks the other one is going through a lot more than me, it doesn't mean what I feel is invalid. Because it hurts just as much as it hurts for them. We're all under the same pressure, and most of us are choosing to succumb to it and others want to survive it. So please, don't hesitate to give yourself an hour, a day, or a week to rest, because all of us, at some point, deserve to acknowledge the fact that we're tired. Don't belittle those negative emotions you're feeling, because you feel like you don't have the rights to feel that way, when in fact, you do. If you can sense that you needed that rest, then please rest. Letting yourself recharge and just break free from all of this is nothing to feel guilty about.